Jared Anderson is a celebrated songwriter and musician. He has written many songs that are popular in churches all across America, songs such as Amazed and Great I Am. He was the leader of Desperation Band and has also released several solo albums. Most recently was The Narrow Road. We are honored today to have Jared Anderson as our guest on The Journey. Jared, first thing I want to ask you is, how did you get started in the music industry?
Oh my gosh. I think it kind of found me a little bit. I was writing songs in practice rooms during college and I didn't even know what they meant. Like, I was just kind of exploring the space. And I would write couple worship songs every year maybe. And one of them was a song called Rescue. And it said, "I need you, Jesus, to come to my rescue." And because that's kind of how I felt that day. I was not happy where I was, and I was crying out for help. And pretty soon this song ended up going on a CD and started getting traction and radio play, and other people started recording it. And so it kind of found me a little bit.
While you were on your way to building your career as a worship artist, what are some of the desires that you had to give up and set aside?
First was that I didn't really want to have a worship career.
That would be a big one.
Yeah. I kind of had told God the two things I never wanted to do was be a worship leader and be involved in Christian music, because I thought doing worship was monotonous, and you do the same thing every week, and they're all sing-along songs, and that's kind of silly anyways. And Christian music was just kind of dumb to me. Just like, why? You know, I had a lot of judgment issues. So I had some things to lay down. But I had some gracious people, my worship pastor, some family members, and people who came around me and would just encourage me and kind of let me work it out until I was ready to follow what the Lord had for me. And I tried to get out of it all the time, and those roads were just blocked. Those doors were completely shut. And so I just was like, all right, Lord, at the end of the day, if the stuff I think is so cool never leaves my living room, we'll just do what you have.
Absolutely.
So
now that you find yourself in this career that you never thought you'd
Sure.
be in, you know, you travel around different places and singing and such. What is your motivation as you do this?
Motivation is to connect with people and with people to connect with the Lord.
Right.
And I feel like I don't have any more to bring to the table than anyone else, but if we can come together and exalt the Lord, mission accomplished. So that's the beauty. I feel like I'm just as happy to be there as anybody.
We were reading a little bit background on you,
Sure.
And you had said that, worship songs, they're not just songs, they're actually like truths that we need to live out. So what do you find is, what worship song of yours is the hardest to live out for you?
I wrote kind of a song that came out with Desperation Band called "I'm Counting on God," and that one is like, I don't know, I just like to do things in my own strength most of the time because I think I can, and I think if I can do it, then I should do it. and really, I want to be in the center of God's will and not in the center of my own plan. So that is the most kind of surrendering is still, like, there's still more layers to that onion I'm still discovering.
Absolutely. And so what does it look like living out those songs? You know, on your website, you talk about how Sunday's just the rehearsal for the rest of the week. You know, what does that mean to you in your life?
I don't want to kind of conjure up intimacy. I think God placed us here because he has so much to do and he wants to enjoy it with someone.
Right.
And a group of people, and we're his creatures to just enjoy and witness the beauty that he's in the middle of. And so I think that's the same kind of relationship that we should have with one another. God's in the middle of our dwelling here. He's He's the glue. That'd be like the Holy Spirit would be the glue connecting us. And he's already here, and he already has a plan. And so when we come here to rehearse who he is, who we are, and what he's doing, and that's the goal. When we gather to remember. Like, the work of the cross is already done. Heaven is already being prepared for us. So much of we're like on the backside of redemption playing it out. And so this is not the performance, this is the rehearsal. Heaven's the performance. This is just the pregame, if you will.
Yeah. Would you consider sharing that message and that idea that Christ has already done the work? Is that the best part about getting to go around and share that with people?
Yeah, I feel like I kind of tell worship leaders, like, our job, like when you go to a birthday party and you're a musical person, oftentimes when people are about to bring out the cake at the birthday party, they like make eyes at you, and because they know, they're like, can you start the song, you know? And you're like, oh yeah, okay. So you get to pick the key and you, happy birthday, and then you start the first line, then your job is kind of done.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like that, like I'm just starting the song. Like, if I get up and if somebody gets up at the birthday party and they start owning happy birthday,
Yeah.
like, that's super awkward, right? Like, don't do that. Just like start the song and like make it about the person, right? That we came to celebrate. So that's me. I feel like we just kind of start the song. We're here to celebrate God.
Absolutely. That's a sensational analogy that everyone can relate to. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll have more with Jared Anderson. Stay tuned.